The A-model PrecisionCut and E-Cut Fairway Mowers are the latest generation of lightweight and productive fairway mowers from John Deere. In this operator video, we'll show you how to operate the PrecisionCut and the E-Cut hybrid fairway mowers correctly and safely. Remember, you are responsible for your own safety and the safety of those around you. Safety should be the first thing you think of when operating any machine on the golf course. Always wear your seat belt low and snug when operating the PrecisionCut and E-Cut hybrid fairway mowers. Since we won't cover everything in this video that you need to know, be sure to read the printed operator's manual before mowing. The operator's manual is available in Spanish, and this DVD contains a Spanish language version of this video. Contact your distributor if you need an operator's manual in another language. We'll start with a look at the operating controls and features. Always use the steps provided to enter and exit the operator station of the machine. Some machines may have multiple step locations. Be sure to fasten your seatbelt before operating the mower. The comfortable seat has standard armrests, fore and aft adjustment to accommodate different sized operators, an adjustment for operator weight, an adjustment to raise and lower the optional air ride seat, and a seat back and lumbar support adjustment. All of the controls, including the Tech Control display, are located on the command arm for convenient operation. The Tech Control display shows you the engine operating temperature and the fuel level of the machine. It will also notify you if there are problems with your machine. If the hydraulic oil temperature illuminates while you are mowing, the cutting units will shut off automatically. If this happens, stop the machine, turn off the cutting units, and let the engine idle to cool the hydraulic oil. If the engine oil pressure icon illuminates, shut off the machine to avoid serious damage. If the battery icon illuminates, it means the battery isn't charging. Drive back to the maintenance shop and have the problem checked out. If the engine coolant temperature icon illuminates, pull to the side of the fairway and let the engine idle to cool down. And if the hydraulic oil filter pressure icon illuminates while mowing, the hydraulic filter is restricted and needs replacing. Notify your technician about any of these problems. Do not continue mowing. The rest of the controls include the headlight switch, mow transport switch, brake switch, lift lower lever, and the ignition switch. Push the mow transport switch to the right to engage the cutting units for mowing, and to the left to disengage the cutting units for transport. When the mow transport switch is engaged, the cutting units only raise halfway during turns, to make turning and mowing faster and you more productive. When the mow transport switch is disengaged or in the left position, pull back and hold the lift lower lever to raise the cutting units to the transport position. Release the lever when the cutting units reach the full up position. To use the one-touch lift lower control when mowing, simply push and release the lift lower lever forward to lower the cutting units. Then pull the lever back and release it to raise them. The red brake switch on the command arm controls the hydraulic internal wet disc brakes. The brakes engage automatically when the machine is not running. When the machine is running, push the park brake switch to the left position to engage the brakes. Push the switch to the right position to release the brakes. On the right side floorboard are the E-Hydro foot control pedals. Press the left pedal to go forward, press the right pedal to reverse. The A-model fairway mowers feature auto pedal. With auto pedal, you control the forward and reverse direction and the engine RPM just like an automobile. On the bottom left side of the steering column is the steering column tilt control. Using your left foot, depress the lever and adjust the steering column to a comfortable position. The A-model fairway mowers have a standard 2-post ROPS or rollover protection structure. Always wear your seatbelt low and snug when operating these mowers to help minimize your chances of injury from an accident. When working, your first line of defense against injury is wearing proper clothing for the job. Proper clothing includes heavy work shoes, long pants, safety glasses, and hearing protection. Depending on the work you are doing and the procedures at your golf course, you may also want to wear a long-sleeve shirt, sunscreen, and work gloves. Always start with a walk-around inspection before mowing. Make sure hardware is tight and guards and shields are in place and in good condition. Look under the machine and check for oil, fuel, or coolant leaks. Make sure all warning decals are readable. Tell your golf course technician or equipment manager if there are any missing or damaged decals. Inspect the cutting units to make sure they are in good shape. With gloves on, check the blades for nicks or signs of wear or damage. Have any damage, worn, or missing parts repaired or replaced, and make needed adjustments before mowing. Check the tire pressure and the condition of the tires. The operator's manual lists the recommended air pressure for each tire. Before starting the engine, open the hood, pull the dipstick, and check the engine oil level to make sure it is between the add and full marks on the dipstick. Check the hydraulic oil level to make sure the level is between the hot and cold marks on the dipstick. Check the hydraulic oil level when the oil is cold. Also, check the engine coolant level using the overflow bottle. If the engine is warm, the coolant should be between the indicated lines. If any of these fluid levels are low, top them off or have the technician do it before you mow. Check and clean debris from the radiator fins, hydraulic oil cooler, and grill screen. Check the fuel gauge to make sure there's enough fuel to get you through the day. If needed, fill up the tank. Climb aboard, fasten your seatbelt, start the engine, and check the brakes. Again, have any problems serviced before mowing. Training is important. If you are new to operating these mowers, practice operating them in an unobstructed area under direction of a qualified operator before mowing out on the golf course. Your training should also include time operating on slopes under direction of a qualified operator to understand how to mow slopes safely and determine which slopes are not safe to mow. The A-model fairway mowers have a safety interlock system installed. To start the engine, you must be sitting in the seat. The mow transport switch must be in the transport position, and the park brake switch must be in the engaged position. We recommend that you test these systems before mowing. See your operator's manual for instructions on testing these systems and making sure the machine is running normally. If you find a problem while testing, do not operate the machine and notify your technician or equipment manager. Next, we'll show you how to start and operate the PrecisionCut and E-Cut fairway mowers. To start the engine, fasten your seatbelt low and snug. Check that the park brake switch is engaged and the mow transport switch is in the transport position. Turn the key to on and wait for the operator screen to display on the tech control. Then turn the key to start the engine. Let the engine run a few minutes to warm up the hydraulic fluid. When you're ready to go, raise the cutting units, press the park brake switch to release the parking brake, and press the forward foot pedal. The farther you push the pedal, the faster you'll go. The auto pedal feature controls your engine and ground speed. To go backwards, look behind you and slowly press the reverse pedal. When you take your foot off the pedals, the machine will slow to a stop. On slopes, you may need to use the brake switch to stop the machine. To transport out to mow, raise the cutting units and lock the front wing units in place using the transport locks. Always transport at a slow and easy speed. Transport on the cart paths when possible. Do not drive or mow over ground where traction or stability is an issue. If you have to move off the cart path, proceed slowly and avoid rough ground. Be careful when driving on or crossing roadways and never allow riders. Use extreme caution when transporting or operating on slopes. Mow and transport straight up slopes, not across. Avoid quick stops and reduce your speed if the grass is wet, which increases the danger of mowing slopes. When you arrive at the mowing site, park the mower safely off to the side. Inspect the area and identify what areas are unsafe to mow. Look for any drop-offs into bunkers or bodies of water, as well as any embankments or slopes. These areas may not be safe to mow. Always consider topography and turf conditions when deciding what areas are safe to mow. Plan your mowing pattern to avoid any unsafe areas. Slow your speed when mowing around unsafe areas. Slopes are a major factor related to loss of control and tip-over accidents, which can result in severe injury or death. Walk the fairway before mowing to remove any signs or debris that could damage the cutting units or ruin the quality of cut. When you are ready to mow, unlock the cutting units, climb aboard, adjust the steering column, fasten your seatbelt, start the engine and disengage the brake. With the cutting units raised, move to the edge of the fairway and lower the cutting units. Push the yellow mow transport switch to the mow position, and then raise your cutting units. To mow, continue onto the fairway. As the cutting units cross the edge of the fairway, push the lift lower lever forward to lower the cutting units. To keep you from cutting into the edge of the fairway, the front cutting units will lower to the ground before the rear units. Always mow at safe speeds. Mowing too fast can be dangerous and will result in a poor quality of cut. Also, stay alert for people entering the mowing area. At the end of the first pass, pull back on the lift lower lever before the front units reach the taller grass to raise the cutting units and turn. If room allows, make a gentle looping turn. Where there's less room to turn, make a Y-turn and line up your next pass. As the front cutting units cross the edge of the fairway, push the lift lower lever forward to lower them and start the next pass. Overlap your previous pass by a few inches. PrecisionCut and E-Cut fairway mowers with optional all-wheel drive always operate in all-wheel drive mode when mowing and transporting. To operate the cruise control, push the forward travel pedal until you reach your desired mowing speed. On the Tech Control display, push the button under the cruise control icon. The icon will illuminate to show you that the cruise control is engaged. To disengage cruise control, press the forward pedal, or push the button under the cruise control icon on the Tech Control. Always keep your foot on the traction pedal when disengaging to bring the unit to a gradual stop. Remember, use caution when mowing around bunkers, water features, ledges, or embankments. Make sure the ground is not too wet, soft, slippery, or unstable. Use caution when mowing slopes. Mow straight up and down slopes, not across. Keep all movements slow and gradual and avoid starting, stopping, or turning on slopes. Do not mow slopes when the grass is wet. As you mow, watch the quality of cut to make sure the mower is cutting correctly. Also, pay attention to the machine and how it operates. In particular, watch for hydraulic leaks. Hot hydraulic oil will kill the grass. If you see a leak, stop mowing and transport into the rough. Turn off the engine and contact your supervisor or technician. When you're done mowing, transport back to the maintenance area. Stop safely on level ground. Set the parking brake, unlock and lower the cutting units. Allow the engine to idle for a short time to cool, then turn the engine off and remove the key from the ignition. After the engine has cooled, open the hood and use low-pressure compressed air to clean the radiator and oil cooler. Water causes grass material to cake between the fins. Blow parallel to the fins to prevent damage. Damaged fins can reduce cooling efficiency of the radiator. Also, blow away any grass that is collected on the machine. Over time, decaying grass left here can damage components and paint. Use low-pressure water to wash the cutting units. A high-pressure power washer could force grease out of the bearings and actually damage some parts. Do not spray cold water on a hot engine block. After washing, grease all roller and reel bearings. This helps purge debris and water from these critical bearings. Other weekly lubrication should be done according to the operator's manual. It's also a good idea to refuel at the end of each day. Fill the tank with fresh diesel fuel. See the operator's manual for more information on fueling safety. We designed the John Deere A-model fairway mowers for easy service. Please refer to your operator's manual for your engine and hydraulic oil and filter change intervals. The Tech Control display has service timers to alert you when engine and hydraulic oils need changing. Check the operator's manual for locations and intervals for all lubrication fittings. Check the air filter restriction indicator periodically. In dusty conditions, check it daily. The air restriction indicator tells you the air filter is working. The air filter will last longer and work more efficiently if you replace it only when the indicator reaches the red zone. Replace the paper element when indicated by the air restriction indicator. The radiator uses a 50-50 mix of ethylene glycol and clean water. Dirty or incorrect radiator fluid can damage the engine block. All John Deere fairway mowers have standard hydraulic down pressure to help keep the cutting units in contact with the turf for a consistent height of cut. Down pressure is only recommended for use on the 7500A PrecisionCut and E-Cut and the 8000A E-Cut mowers. Check with your supervisor for proper use of down pressure on your machine. To use the down pressure system, be sure the machine is in transport, then pull back on the lift lever until the lift cylinder bracket contacts the lift arm pin. Install the down pressure pin through the hole located in the cylinder bracket. Do this for the front and rear lift cylinders. To activate down pressure, lower the cutting units to the ground. To remove down pressure from the system, remove each of the down pressure pins from the lift arms. For easy access, all QA7 cutting units include our exclusive Rotate for Service feature, or RFS. To use RFS, pull up on the cutting unit yoke with one hand to remove weight from the RFS spring. Use your other hand to push the spring lever down on the front cutting units and retract the retaining pins, and then rotate the front center upstops. To avoid damaging the RFS system, do not use your foot to push the spring lever down. On the rear cutting units, remove the pin that holds the cutting unit upstop on the machine and then remove the upstop. Insert the upstop retaining pin in the second hole of the lift arm cylinder. Remove the pin which limits how far the unit can pivot and place the long leg of the pin in the channel on the arm. Then turn the cutting unit outward and press down on the RFS spring as you did with the front cutting units. Do the same with the other rear cutting unit. With the mower safely parked, start the engine and pull back the lift lower lever to raise the cutting units. Then shut off the engine. The cutting units should be pointing up. Push the spring lever back up to the normal position. Then pull each cutting unit to its service position so the pin aligns with the back hole location and lock the unit in place. Lock the rear cutting units in place facing the side. From the operator's seat, turn the key to the start position and lower the cutting units so the back roller is resting on the floor to stabilize them for servicing. The John Deere PrecisionCut and E-Cut Fairway Mowers are the finest, most productive mowing machines for fairways you can buy. With proper operation and regular maintenance using genuine John Deere parts and lubricants, you'll get years of service from your investment. Remember, the information provided here is only an overview. Be sure to read the operator's manual before operating, servicing, or making any adjustments for the PrecisionCut Fairway Mowers. And most important, always think safety when operating or maintaining any machine. If you have any questions or problems, be sure to contact your local John Deere distributor. Thank you for watching.